What's going on, guys? Welcome to week 7, week 8. This week 7 or week 8, I don't know, of the ICP. We're going up against MidPokeMaster, and if you guys don't know anything about me and MidPokeMaster's past, we were pretty back and forth in like Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. We were back and forth, but in Sword and Shield, I have not beaten Mid a single time. That's not an exaggeration. I have never beaten him. And it is frustrating, to say the least. It is very, very frustrating. But this time, I prepped hardcore. I prepped super hardcore. I didn't do any mocks, but I did prep super hardcore. I might have done one mock. I don't remember. But this team that I made, I had to build in a very specific way because I couldn't look at the team without looking at how I know Mid plays. Mid plays very, very, very offensively and uses like just a little bit of pivoting with the setup sweeper, and that's what he does most of the time. His best mons are usually setup sweepers or really, really, really strong breakers. So I put the 6 that I think on the top, the 4 I don't think he will bring on the bottom, with Spiritomb being the 7th member. With Nidoking and Manshao being his main form of offense, very, very setup heavy Necrozma, whether it's Double Dance, whether it's Autotomize, whether it's something, I think that's going to end up being his big setup threat. And then I think that Zeraora is going to be a backup win con for him, really, really speedy type set. So the team that I decided to bring this week is I'm going to start off with a really, really, really fat Mew. I'm bringing one that outspeeds base 85s, so the Nidoking, so I can go ahead and taunt it to prevent any sort of hazard setup, to prevent any sort of weird, like frustrating toxic spikes that I might have to deal with, things like that. Didn't even want to have to deal with them. I also have enough defense investment to be able to live 2 Plasma Fists, I believe, from Jolly Zeraora. Not Adamant, though. But this is basically going to be what I want to build around this week, is I want to build around just getting some Nightshade chip damage, clicking U-turn, and being good. I didn't want to risk getting varied chip damage on everything. I didn't want to get 20% on the Skarmory on the switch in, and then I go for a Fire Blast, and I hit the Tapu Fini for 10, and then the Tapu Fini taunts me, and it's like, I didn't want to have to deal with all that. I wanted set damage, I also wanted damage that wouldn't pop weakness policies, and I wanted damage that would also hit ghost types. So I went with Nightshade because I think Kangaskhan is a lot less likely than Spiritomb, so I wanted this set. And then I also have the Cobra Berry to be able to live a knockoff from a Mienshao, and be able to click U-turn on it and drop in the next threat, which is probably one of the most important members of this team, and that's going to be Sylveon. I'm bringing Choice Spec Sylveon this week with Hyper Voice, Mystical Fire, Psyshock, and Shadow Ball. I have enough speed for a very, very, very minimally speed invested Tapu Fini with like Bolt. I think it's like with maybe 20 EVs, 24 EVs, I outspeed that. And then this thing just breaks the entire team. It literally 2-shots or 1-shots the entire team, and that's not an exaggeration. If they're Fizdef Skarm, it's 2-shots. So it is very, 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 very strong versus my opponent. And I don't think he'll prep for it, because 9 times out of 10, every single time I've drafted this Pokemon, I have gone super, super fat. I don't think I brought Choice Spec Sylveon to any other game. I brought Setup, I brought stuff like that, but I don't think I've ever brought specs, and I don't think he'll prep for it. I don't think he'll be expecting it, and I don't think it'll be on his radar literally at all. So that's really, really important. Next up, we have Choice Scarf as a Rude. This is going to be one of my win cons. I can really see myself winning by spamming Power Whip, by spamming Darkest Lariat, something along those lines. I just need to get rid of one key piece. Like if I want to spam Darkest Lariat, I need to get rid of Tapu Fini or Mienshao. If I want to spam Power Whip, I need to get rid of Skarm. So, and preferably if they bring Noivern, but I don't think they will. And that's why this is going to be one of my main win cons. I really have a lot of easy times just spamming moves in the end game if I get really good chip damage off with Nightshade and then Hyper Voice damage. Second setup win con, not setup win con, but second win con is going to be Choice Banded Scizor with Bullet Punch. Their team is very, very weak to Bullet Punch. I need the same things gone for this that I do for this. So if I use one to get rid of the one for the other, then I'm really, really set. And that was the main thought process. This also really does force in Skarmory to allow me to click U-turn to get in my Thundurus. My Thundurus is going to be Thunderbolt, Psychic, Volt Switch, and Role Play with enough speed to be able to outspeed base 105s in the Mienshao. I am Psychic and Thunderbolt because that is the only coverage I need to be able to hit the entire team for at least neutral damage, and then Role Play to be able to steal Volt Absorb so I'm not 2-shot by a Plasma Fists. And the goal would be to potentially come in, click Psychic once, bait him into clicking Plasma Fist again, click Roleplay, and then go from there. That's the ideal situation that I'm going for. So that way I get an extra hit off, Plasma Fist to recover, and Volt Absorb, and hopefully catch him off guard. But I think it's a really, really heat set. Not super heat, but it's pretty cool. And then I have my mixed defensive P2. This is going to be my Nidoking check, my Zeraora check, my Noivern check, things along that line. And Tri-Attack Ice Beam is really all I need to be able to hit the majority of the team for at least neutral damage. And then Teleport, because it's also kind of sort of baits and Scarm to set up hazards to drop in my Thundurus to get the main chip off on the Zeraora that I also want. So with this, I have a couple of different issues, just in general. My Necrozma game plan is basically to always have something in that can hit it decently, or force it to be the other set. And by the other set, I mean, like, for this one, it needs to be Calm Mind. And if it's Calm Mind, I click Tri-Attack, potentially get a status, teleport out, drop in my Monkey, click Darkest Lariat, do over 50%, or I just get it to 50% using this, and then I'm good to go. If it's DD, I do outspeed it with this. I click Taunt, I click U-Turn. I might give it a Weakness Policy boost. Who knows? Drop in my Monkey, click Darkest Lariat, lose it, go into my Scizor, revenge it. If it's Calm Mind, I have Darkest Lariat, as I said before. So it's just, I kind of have to just basically make it to where everything on my team can hit it and then pivot out once I know what set it is to be able to deal with it appropriately. So that was the team that I built. Let's go ahead and hop over to the battle. Alrighty guys, here we are with the battle against Mid. Hopefully everything goes well. The team is something that is going to be a little unique. If you didn't watch the team builder, that was dumb. Go watch the team builder. We're bringing Choice Spec Sylveon, standard other stuff pretty much. And it looks like Mid brought a very, very unique team. Like, I didn't expect Spiritomb all that much. Like, he mentioned it to me in passing, but I didn't think, like, he would actually bring it. But I could see, like, a Calm Mind, Rest, Sleep Talk. I could even see a Toxic Rest, Sleep Talk being pretty annoying. I'm going to go ahead and cut it until we get connected, and I'll be right back. Okay, for some reason we couldn't connect for like ever, so finally we're here. Let's go. Let's just get this game going. Okay. So, as I mentioned, the Spiritomb I'm slightly worried about, but not overly worried about. Part of me wants to lead off with my, what's this Pokemon called? My Mew. Just because it can stop spikes, it can stop a bunch of stuff, it can pretty much do anything. And the only worry is like knockoff from Zeraora or Mienshao, but I have the Colbur Berry for that, so overall I think this is just the best lead. He might assume that I'm like a more defensive Mew with rocks since I don't have Seismitoad, which I believe are my only two rockers, and I don't have Shelmet for spikes. So yeah, that could be a slight issue if he predicts that, but who knows. Bro, change your card. Change your card, brother. It's a shame. Alrighty. Lead off with Mienshao. This is fine. Scarf. Level 50. U-turn is doing 41% maximum. I kind of just want to go right for a Nightshade. I'm just going to go right for a Nightshade, get this thing chipped a little bit. If they go for knock, that's fine. They go right for the U-turn, so whatever's coming in is going to take 50 damage. That is banded. That is choice banded Mienshao. That's unfortunate. They go right into Spiritomb, which is okay. So I definitely live a Dark Pulse. Shadow Ball from defensive is a roll. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to soft boiled up first. He did reveal to be lefties, so like he could go for sneak, but I wasn't as worried about sneak. If they go for like toxic or something like that, I'm going to end up taunting it down because it'll get synchronized. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not overly worried about it because of synchronize. Now I'm going to taunt them to prevent them from resting up. And I'm kind of just going to leave my Mew on the field until it dies, I think. So it's going to take 6%. This is going to be a lot of post-turn animations. I'm just going to click taunt. I don't want them going for like rest or sleep talk or anything. And if they pull a hard switch into Nidoking, I'm going to be able to taunt it to prevent the rocks. They go into Skarmory, which is also fine. Get that taunt up. That's cool. And I'm going to start Nightshading down because the second that I get that my Mew dies, I'm actually going to be able to get in my Sylveon and I'm going to be able to claim one. I'm just going to go right for Nightshade. If they go for Brave Bird, that's fine. Skarmory. Going to withdraw. Is he going to go into Nidoking? Just give me a little bit of chip on Nidoking. That's what I wanted. Nice. That is max HP Nidoking. Literally max HP Nidoking. So I'm going to click Taunt. And then if he tries to set up Rocks here, I'm actually going to go for the U-turn, but he goes for the Sludge Wave. That should be okay unless he's like Modest, Life Orb, max HP, which it looks like he is. No, he's definitely offensive with max HP, though. Like, definitely offensive, judging by that Sludge Wave damage. So that means that my Thundurus's Psychic does not KO yet. So what I need to do is I need to go into this first. And I think I'm going to click Ice Beam. Yep, I'm going to click Ice Beam first. Because even if they go into Spiritomb, I would say I feel bad, but I don't. It's Focus Blast. I never feel bad about that. I'm going to go for another Ice Beam. Because this is one of the few things that actually pressures my Sylveon on a switch-in. Like, it's one of their only switch-ins. It actually is their only switch-in. Okay, so Nidoking goes down. That's really, really good. That thing was an issue. The reason why I said I didn't feel bad for it is because I just genuinely couldn't imagine a world where I wanted to ever click Focus Blast. So this is a problem. Because Choice Banded Close Combat is an issue. I'm going to click Teleport just in case they go for U-turn. But they should go for Close Combat and kill me. They go for Knock. Wow. Okay. I can still use this later. I'm going to drop in my Sylveon now and I'm going to claim one. Because the only way that I don't claim one is if they go into their Skarm. And even then, it's a good roll. I do 51 to 61 to Fizz Def. Part of me really wants to click Mystical Fire here, but it's not worth it because Mienshao lives it. Yeah, Mienshao lives it. I'm gonna click Hyper Voice. Be Fizdef. Be Fizdef for Scizor, please. That is physically defensive, my friends. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Can we just appreciate the fact that a Sylveon Hyper Voice just did 60% to a Skarmory? Holy crap, dude. I love Sylveon so much. I love this Pokemon so much. Okay. The only way that a Mienshao would kill me is by locking into Poison Jab. Close combat doesn't do it. Their Skarmory's dead. So what I'm gonna do is expecting the Poison Jab, if that comes in, but they do go into Mienshao, so I'm gonna go into my Scizor, I think. I'm gonna go into my Scizor expecting the Poison Jab. Yep, cool. Now I get a Choice Banded U-turn off on something. I assume it's going to be this. No, they're going to keep this thing around. Wow. To the Spiritomb. Good damage. I'm going to drop in my Thundurus now. And I'm just going to click Thunderbolt. I'm going to allow the Zera to come in. Because Thunderbolt should kill. Yeah, Thunderbolt definitely kills. Thunderbolt does 43 to 52 to Fizdef to max HP Spiritomb. I'm going to click Thunderbolt. Yep, kill this thing. Cool. Now, if they go into their Zeraora, I click Roleplay. They go into Necrozma, I click Volt Switch. Volt Switch is doing 36%. If they're max HP, it's doing 30. Go for the Volt Switch. I crit him. That might have just won me the game. Because now I go into this and I click Darkest Lariat. Yep. Only issue would be is if they're Colbur, but if they're Colbur, I still outspeed it after the next one. Darkest Lariat does kill. I do outspeed it. Are they Colbur? They're not. This does 50 to 60 to max HP. Dead. Nice. Biggest threat gone. Absolute biggest threat gone. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sack off my P2 to the incoming fighting move. Right? Yep, and then I go my Sylveon. Yep, because I sack it off to the fighting move here. I go my Sylveon, I claim one. Whether it's this or whether it is the Zeraora, depends on how the endgame will go. P2 goes down. Nice. That crit on the Volt Switch really sucked. It really sucked. Because I didn't kill him with Darkest Lariat otherwise. And now I go into my Sylveon. I want to see how much this Choice Banded Close Combat should be doing. Should be doing 60 to 70. I'm clicking Hyper Voice. He does sack this off. Mienshao goes down. Phenomenal. And now I have Power Whip and I have Psychic. I don't think he has a way to beat everything I have. Plasma Fist 1000% kills me, but I don't have another switch in otherwise. So in case he goes for like Bulk Up or something like that, but he doesn't, he makes the good play. And he kills this. So now... Zarude versus Zeraora. Power Whip is doing 75 to 88. I'm gonna go into this. I want to get him to 53%. I'd rather get him to like 40% to make sure Darkest Lariat kills. So I'm going to click Roleplay for the thumbnail, because the thumbnail comes first. The thumbnail comes first. Give me that. Nice. Yes. I love it. Now I click Psychic and I get to see how bulky this thing is. He goes for Knock. A 3-shot. Psychic to max HP is also a 3-shot. So I think this is just the way that I seal the game up. Go for Psychic again. And that should put him in range of Darkest Lariat. That was perfect. Just for Knock again, I drop in my Zarude. Darkest Lariat does 44 to 52. Worst case scenario, I don't kill him. He kills me with close combat. This has been a phenomenal game. This has been a phenomenal game. Go for Darkest Lariat. Does this kill? Yes! Yes, this is such a good moral victory for me because I have not beaten Root in this generation. Oh my god. I have not beaten Root in Sword and Shield at all. The last time I beat him was whenever we were playing in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And like, we played like 4 times in Sword and Shield. We played a handful of times and I've never beaten him. So it is so nice to finally do something right. But that crit on the Necrozma was huge. It was really, really big. And I don't want that to go understated. That crit was pretty big, but oh man, feels good. That's the game. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.